Alright, in section 6.4 we will be learning the third form of a linear function. The third form is called a standard form. The first form is called the slope-intercept form, which is y equals mx plus b, and in the point slope form you have y minus y1 equals mx minus x1. In a standard form, we have ax plus by equals c, where a, b, and c are your numbers, and those have to be integers. And then a and b cannot be 0 at the same time. So in a standard form, unlike the other two, x and y are on the same side of the equal sign, where in slope-intercept, here's your y, here's your x, and point slope, here's your y, here's your x. They have to be on the same side. And in slope-intercept form, they tell you what the slope is, and they tell you what the y-intercept is, so where the line crosses the y-axis. So you actually have a point to start to draw your graph, and then the slope tells you how to get to the next points. In point slope, it does the same thing. It gives you a point, which this is your x-coordinate and y-coordinate, and from that point you could use the slope to get to the next point. But in standard form, it doesn't give you anything. So what you got to do is to find either to rewrite this in slope-intercept form, or you can find where the line crosses the x-axis and where the line crosses the y-axis to find those points. So in example number 1, we are going to learn how to find the x-intercept and the y-intercept. And if you remember, x-intercept is where the graph crosses the x-axis. So here's my line, here's my x-axis. The line crosses the x-axis at this point at x, 0. So every y-coordinate on the x-axis is 0. And then where the line crosses the y-axis, that's called the y-intercept, and the point on that is 0, y, because every x-coordinate on that axis is 0. So for the given equation, which is in standard form, 2x plus 5y equal to 6, we are going to find the x-intercept and the y-intercept. So now to find the x-intercept, we're looking for some kind of x and the y-coordinate is 0. This is my x and y. So what we're going to do is we're going to take that equation, 2x plus 5y equal to 6, and in place of y, we are going to set y equal to 0. So if you plug in 0 for y, you get 2x plus 5 times 0 equals 6, and 5 times 0 is 0, and 2x plus 0 is 2x, and this is 6, not 0. And then we want to solve for x, so you divide by 2, and x equals 3. So x-intercept is at x equals 3, so the order pair, x equals 3, so order pair is 3, 0. This is where the line crosses the x-axis for this given line. So the next thing we're going to do is we are going to find the y-intercept. And y-intercept is when x is 0, and we're looking for the y value. So same thing, we're going to set x equal to 0 at this time, so we're going to plug it in. 2 times 0 plus 5y is equal to 6. 2 times 0 is 0, 0 plus 5y is 5y, equal to 6, and then when you divide by 5, y equals 6 over 5, or you could rewrite it as 1 1/5. So my y-intercept is at 0, 6 over 5, or 1 1/5. So this is my y-intercept. So by using those 2 points, what we can do is to graph this equation by plotting the x-intercept and the y-intercept. X-intercept is at 3, 1, 2, 3, 3, 0. And the y-intercept is at 0, 1 1/5. So 0, 1, 2, 1 1/5 is about right here. So 0, 1 1/5. And so as long as you have 2 points, that's all you need is to graph a line. So that's using the standard form, when the equation is standard form, using the x-intercept and the y-intercept to graph. And this is how you find the x-intercept and the y-intercept. To find the x-intercept, set y equal to 0, solve for x. And to find the y-intercept, set x equal to 0, and then you solve for y. And then plot those 2 points, your intercepts, and you make a line. Another type of question that you will see in this section is to graph. We are going, this is example number 3, and we are going to graph y equals -3, and we are going to graph x equals 2. So let's start with y equals -3. So when an equation looks like this, and this is an equation of a line, what it's saying is every y coordinate is -3. So if I were to graph on my x and y axis, here's 1, 2, 3, -3. What it's saying is every single point on a given line, the y coordinate is -3. So I got 0, -3. I got 1, -3. And then I got 2, -3. And on this side I got -1, -3. And then I got 1, 2, 3, -4, -3. So every single point on this line, the y coordinate is -3. So the equation of a line, y equals -3, is a horizontal line that looks like this. And if you notice, there's no x, so slope is 0. And remember, slope of a horizontal line is 0. So for when you have x equals 2, here's 1, 2. That means every x coordinate is 2. So here's 2, 0. And then this one is 2, 1. And then I got 2, 2. And down here I got -3, 2. 2, -3. So if you notice, every single x coordinate is 2. So this one, when I draw my line, I get a vertical line. And remember, the vertical line has a slope of undefined. So when there's no y, slope is undefined. And the equation is x is equal to 2. So when you see a variable by itself with a number, x equals a number, or y equals a number, x equals a number. When it's y equals a number, it's a horizontal line. When it's x is equal to a number, it's a vertical line through that number on the axis. And then the last example that we're going to show you is to how to write slope-intercept form into a standard form. So we were rewriting. So we want to write y equals 2 over 3x plus 6 in standard form. So this is slope-intercept. But remember, standard form is ax plus by equals c. That means on the equal sign, x and y are on the same side, and a, b, and c cannot be fractions or decimals unless it's a word problem. That's the only time you're allowed to have fractions or decimals. But x and y are always on the same side in standard form. So the first thing we got to do is get rid of fractions. So to get rid of fractions here, you're going to multiply by the common denominator. And since there's only one denominator, which is 3, we're going to multiply every term by the denominator. So then 3 times y is 3y equals, I'm going to put this over 1. 3's will cancel out. They become 1. 1 times 2 times x is 2x, plus 6 times 3 is 18. And remember, next thing you got to do is get x and y on the same side. So I want to bring this x, 2x, over to the y side. So way to bring it is to do the opposite. We're going to subtract 2x. And the reason why I put this on not underneath the 3y but in front of it is because they're not like terms, so you can't add them together, you can't combine them, but you put them next to each other. So this is negative 2x. This is positive 3y, so we're going to say plus 3y is equal to, and then 0 plus 18 is 18, and this is a standard form, which we took the slope-intercept form and we wrote it as a standard form. And that's how you write any linear equation that's in slope-intercept form into a standard form. And you should be able to go backwards as well.